Ikasan Online Tutorials. My name is Michael Stewart. I'm a core developer on the Ikasan Enterprise integration platform. And today we're going to be talking about the job template view on the job plan management screen associated with the Ikasan Enterprise Scheduler. Now, just to give this a bit of background, a job plan that's managed by the Enterprise Scheduler is comprised of jobs. And this particular view gives a view of all of the jobs that are associated with a job plan. So we're looking at our example job plan that we've set up as part of the developer setup for demonstrating the Ikasan Enterprise platform, and in there's a series of jobs. Now we've got the ability to filter on job type, so we can see we've got a global event job that's in our plan, we've got some command execution jobs, we've got a file watcher job, and we've got a scheduled job. So if I clear that filter, all of the jobs are there. Now, just to give some background on what those jobs do, a command execution job is something that does some work for us. So in my case, just for these demonstration purposes, I've got some jobs that do some rudimentary tasks, just echo some values, do a directory listing, go to sleep for a little while, and echo some parameters. But ultimately you can define any kind of script here. You can delegate to other executables, you can run a series of bash commands, or if you're in a Windows environment, you can execute some Windows DOS commands or PowerShell commands. Ultimately, it's flexible enough to run on any target environment that you have. The global event job is quite a simple job. It's basically a job that gets raised to notify other external systems or other job plans that are executing that an event has occurred, and it is effectively a notification mechanism that a certain stage in a job plan has been achieved. Now, file watcher jobs are looking for files on the file system based on some kind of periodic query to that file system. In this particular case, it's querying every minute to see whether the file exists. And finally, we've got a job here that fires at 7 a.m. basically to say, look, that 7 a.m. event has occurred, and you can move on the basis of it being 7 a.m. in the morning. Now, you can see here that we've got everything's represented in a table format. You've got numerous columns here that can be filtered, so you can look for your specific jobs. So for example, if I was after job 7, or in this case it's brought back 7 a.m. job, I'm able to filter on that. You've also already seen me filter on the type of jobs, so that filtering is available. We've got the idea of jobs that reside within a lock. Now, I'm not going to touch too much detail on what locking is in the Ikasan Scheduler platform in this tutorial. We'll deal with that in another one, but suffice to say that jobs that are in a lock can be filtered upon, and they're also have this particular icon beside them that defines the fact that they're part of a lock. Targeted, that's another topic for another tutorial, but if a job is targeting a specific context, you can filter on that as well. We've got some actions here that you can perform against a specific job, and then you've got details about when things were created and modified and who by. You've also got some actions here that can be performed against the entire set of jobs here in the job plan. And what we're going to do is drill into some of these specific features associated with the job and why they exist. So firstly, we've got the ability to delete a job. Now, I'm not going to delete this one because it's required by this particular job plan, but it's a destructive action and probably not one you're going to do that often. But, if you're in the early stages of building job plans, you can delete a job from a particular job plan. Similarly, you've got another very sort of basic functionality here which allows you to download a job plan. And we have a look at that. You can see here, this is what that job plan looks like. So that's just a simple JSON download of that job, which could be re-uploaded into another system or another version of the scheduler if you wanted to do that. Now, you've got a feature here that allows you to put a job, to skip a job. Now, the idea of skipping a job, now, we're working at a template level here of a job plan, right? So this is not an instance. So basically, if I skip a job within a job plan, when I'm working on the template, that means that every time that a new instance of this template created, that specific job will automatically be skipped in that instance or any subsequent instances that get created. The same as for holding. If I wanted to hold a job, similarly, if I create instances of this particular job plan now, every time an instance is created, this particular job is going to be held. You can also do that in a bulk manner. So for example, I can hold all of the jobs in this specific job plan, and what's going to happen there is every time that this job plan is created from this point forward, that all of the jobs are going to be put on hold. Now, you ask the question, why would you want to do that? Perhaps for certain testing scenarios, you want to know that each time a new instance of this job plan gets created, a certain section of that job plan doesn't get executed. Maybe it's going to corrupt data in some kind of data store or something like that. I would say typically it's not going to be a production scenario, but it's a handy feature for when we're working through creating, managing and updating existing job plans in non-production environments. Nonetheless, the feature exists there and can be used in production. So you can see that I've held all against that job plan, so all jobs will be held in any instances that get created. I can release all, and now, of course, when an instance of this job plan gets created, no jobs are held. You can then also skip individual jobs. So why would you want to skip a job? Perhaps a job has become redundant. It's not necessarily part of a job plan anymore. And every time an instance gets created in the future, you do not want to execute that particular job. That could be a production scenario until you get to release the new job plan with that job removed. So you can sort of basically provide the opportunity to jump a step in a job plan without actually releasing a new job plan to do that. So once again, you've seen me skip individual jobs. You can release individual jobs, or you can just release all of the jobs in the job plan. Enable all skip jobs in the job plan with a single click. There's also the opportunity to disable all scheduled jobs. So this is basically any job that's a time-based job. So we know we've got a scheduled job here that fires at 7 a.m. If I disable that, that basically means that when I create a new instance of that 7 a.m. job will never fire, and will rely on the user manually firing it in order to have that event occur. And once again, that's likely to be a non-production scenario, but it's a feature there nonetheless that allows us to have some more granular control over the way that these plans are executed. I'm going to enable that. So apart from that, those features that we've got available there, we've also got the ability to click into any of the visualizations that a job is associated with. So you can see here, we've got what this particular job has an impact in two separate contexts, for example. So I can click in and see where it resides in both of these and drill in. If I want to know more details about a specific job in that, I can drill down into that as well. So that pretty much sums up the features that are available in the job template view that's associated with the job plan template. Thank you very much for joining me today for this tutorial, and we'll see you next time.